It's been an exciting couple of years in real estate, and if you're curious about what's next, today's topic is perfect for you. We're joined in studio with Jenifer Scanlon of the Brokerage House. Jenifer, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you are such a regular on JTV, but tell our viewers a little bit about the Brokerage House.
So I am the proud co-owner and associate broker of the Brokerage House, we just got done celebrating our 42nd year in business, serving the Jackson community and surrounding areas. So my business partner, Sandy Simmons, and I are so proud to carry on that tradition of service. Is really, you know better than most that being a realtor is not sales, it's service. And I had the best mentors in the business with Marianne Moeller and Bob Simmons and Sandy Simmons, who remains my mentor to this day. But so we're a small but mighty firm. We're privately owned. We're located in downtown Jackson. I'd say Jackson, Lenawee, a little bit of Washtenaw, a little bit of Ingham. County is kind of our main territory. I'm an Irish Hills girl and a Lake girl, so I always love doing business down there too. But what makes us different, kind of our key to success, is just being a full service real estate firm. And that can be different on every transaction. So we evaluate it, figure out what we need to help you buy or sell, make your next move your best move, and then we put a plan into place.
Absolutely. Yes, you guys, you have a great team at the Brokerage House, but you really do. You are a company of service, especially in the Jackson community.
Thank you.
Since you've moved your office from its location to the new location downtown, I've just seen you be so involved in all the great things happening in downtown Jackson.
So Jackson as a whole and the surrounding area is one of those parts of the country where whatever you give them, you're going to get back tenfold in a lot of different ways. And so we've been blessed beyond measure with wonderful clients and customers that have allowed us to create a budget for philanthropy throughout the community where we can really give back and do it in meaningful ways where, yes, we can showcase our business, but we can also give something back either to those in need or a big thank you for those that really have helped our great city and area, get to where we are now. So we look for those opportunities and choose the ones that we feel like highlight those two things, and we jump in both feet.
Yes, you do, and I agree. I think realtors really should be connected to the community, be just a shining light in the community, and that's absolutely what you are.
Thank you so much. Well, likewise, both you and Amy and I have actually worked together for, believe it or not, like 12 or 13 years.
Yes.
We were in our orientation class together many years ago, and so you have a beautiful, rich history in real estate, so it makes perfect sense that you would couple with JTV and put the show together. So you're a wonderful asset for the community.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about real estate, because it has been an exciting ride over the last few years. And I think some people are panicking because they're seeing a shift, but you are such an expert. We chatted before we started filming. You're such an expert about where we've been, where we're going, and how we should stay calm about that.
Yes.
So tell us more about that.
So I love history and I love statistics, and so I'm watching it all the time, and I have been for 12 years now in the business. And the one thing about real estate is that it's cyclical, and you really can predict trends. Predict, but you can't guarantee.
Sure.
And so you say an exciting time, and it has been exciting, but I think of it more as like mass hysteria. Right? I mean, 2.5 years ago, we opened our new location on March 12th in the Fields building, and on March 13th, the whole world collapsed, right? And for 7 weeks, we could not conduct real estate. We couldn't leave our homes. And so I just kind of rocked and studied and studied and studied. Are we going to be okay? Are people ever going to want to spend money again because the unemployment rate is so high? Are people ever going to want to leave their homes again? Are other people going to let people in to view their home? And what actually happened is an unprecedented emotional response where people were like, you know what, YOLO, you only live once. So I want the lake house, I want the property, I want, the camper, the RV, the dirt bike, the jet ski. I mean, that's why we ran into such a huge inventory issue all across the board. And fortunately for us, in the real estate industry, whenever there's an inventory issue, prices of the homes do go up. So our sellers have enjoyed unprecedented increase in value. But we all knew that that wasn't sustainable.
Right.
So what we're seeing right now is not a crash, it's not a burst of a bubble, it's a deceleration. That's completely different than a crash. So we've been going at, so high so fast. Now we're just kind of tapering off. And you know what? If we've lost 5 or 10% of the market, that's okay, because we've had 20 and 30% growth in 2 years. That never happens.
Right.
Your home, especially your family home, you can hope for maybe 2 to 6% increase in value every year. Right? That's why we always tell everybody, make sure, especially if you're spending that big dollar, let's make sure it's a long-term solution for you. So we've had this crazy growth. Now we're just returning to what I call the normal market. So my advice for people is, one, turn off the mass media and really focus on your local resources like JTV or your local real estate broker and or lender that can really talk you through what the reality is and what our market looks like. We still have an inventory issue. We have more heads than homes. So prices are steady, they'll stay steady, things are moving. I might not be able to sell it in 4 hours.
Right.
You know, like we've seen, it may take a little bit longer, but everything will sell because we have a huge number of buyers still in the market to buy.
Right, and things not selling in 6 hours is no cause for alarm. This is normal. We're just kind of going back to normal.
No, so going back to that, when we did have the mortgage crisis, and that's what people need to remember, is that was a recession caused by the mortgage industry. It's not indicative of what normal recessions look like.
Right.
We are in the middle of a recession right now. We have an all-time high inflation rate. We have an all-time high, we have an all-time high employment rate coupled with that inflation rate. So we're in the thick of it. You know, we're in a bad place as far as the economy goes. We'll come out of it and we'll be okay.
Right.
But what we see historically is that when we go through major financial depressions or recessions, is that the housing market is the one place that things stay steady. So maybe you only have 2% growth this year. It's still growth.
Right.
You know, and everybody has to live somewhere. You should be paying your mortgage, not somebody else's.
Yes.
You know, to rent is a guaranteed loss. It's 100% interest. You know, there's no gain in the long run. So I think that there's an anomaly where we're starting to see prices come down so that buyers can enjoy that and sellers can still get a nice premium for their house. Now everybody's freaked out about the interest rates.
Right.
And that's okay too. I mean, freak out about it and then pull yourself together, talk to your professionals and figure out what can you afford and move forward. Because again, you're paying somebody else's interest when you're renting.
Right.
So find what you can afford. Know that interest rates are still historically low. Over the last 65 years, the average interest rate is 15%. Do you remember what your first rate was?
I don't, but I know that when my parents bought their home, which was over 40 years ago, it was like 12 or 13.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in 2000, my husband and I bought our first house and we were at 9.5%, and we were just so grateful that we were under double digits.
Right.
That wasn't that long. It was a long time ago. But, you know, it seems like it was yesterday. So especially our young buyers, they forget that, you know, all they've seen is 2, 3s, and 4s
right.
for the last couple of years, and that's just never been our reality. So if we're at 4.5 to 6.5%, still crazy low. It's a very affordable way to borrow money. You're not going to borrow anything else. Look at
right.
what you pay on your credit card. Look at the interest rate that you're paying on your little store cards or your car payment. Overall, the mortgage is the better, buying the house is the better investment, but the mortgage is the safer, more affordable way to borrow the money.
Right, because there's no percentage on what you're paying in rent. I mean, you could figure it out, but you're definitely losing there.
Oh, it's 100% loss.
Right.
I mean, it's all interest because interest is of no benefit to you.
Right.
You know, so it's 100% interest rate. So yeah, this is a great time for people to really seek out new opportunities. Through Mishra, there are great products for first-time home buyers. Mm-hmm. We're seeing other big banks come to the table with programs that are helping people to make it more affordable, because the one thing the interest rate does is it does raise your monthly payment, and so it changes your affordability. But if we can help you get in more affordably up front, then maybe we can soften that blow.
Right.
So that's a good thing. We're starting to see builders give incentives, which we haven't seen in a long time, and new construction has been so expensive that a lot of people have pulled back from
right.
that. But you know, talk to your local realtors, your lenders, and your local builders, and find out what incentives are out there to help kind of make up for that interest rate.
Right.
But I'll tell you, the people that didn't buy last year because they felt like prices were too high and they were waiting for them to come down. So prices have come down like 4%, but interest rates have doubled. They should have bought then. The best time to buy a home is always right now. When you are ready,
right?
You get organized, you align yourself with professionals that help make sure that you stay within your comfortable, affordable range, and then just enjoy home ownership.
Yeah, that's great advice.
I hope so.
People could always look back and say, I wish we would have done it then, or I will do it in the future, but yeah. You're right, the right time is now if you work with the right people and get
yes.
the right information.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, this is great information for our viewers.
Thank you. I feel like I just spewed a lot out, but
we'll have more great information from Jenifer Scanlon in a future episode.